So whether you hire a CEO or a manager, like what is that ideal relationship? What makes a healthy relationship between an artist and that manager or CEO?
Trust. Trust is the number one thing. Trust is so big because from a manager perspective, this is a very thankless job. You know, and like I said earlier, whatever it is that we do together, they're going to congratulate the artist first. Yeah, you know, like this just is what it is. Like, but people know, like for Ken, for example, they'll congratulate him first for everything that's been done. But the people that know that's me behind it. Not saying that he's not thankful for it. He's very grateful for my help, and he tells me all the time. But from a public perspective, it's a thankless job. So because of that, it is very important that, for one, both parties trust each other and value each other, because you can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't run a business if I don't have an artist that's making good music and that's being a dope artist and a brand, you know what I'm saying? And they can't build their business unless they have someone helping them facilitate that, you know? So it's really a true partnership, and with any partnership, you gotta have trust. So for me, when I work with my artists, I let them do their thing in the studio, you know? Ken loves for me to come and just hang out, and he'd be like, what you think? You know, just for moral support or whatever. And I don't say nothing. Like the one song on the project, and I say this to everybody, the first song on the project ended up being the last one he added. Wow. And yeah, and he recorded it. It was the last one he recorded and added. He was like, this is the intro. This is going to be the intro. And I was like, all right, whatever. So we in the studio, and he's just rapping, and it's fast. He's spitting, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, he said, no, just wait a minute. I was like, all right. I trusted him. I trusted him because only he knows what he hear.
Right.
You know, he's a creative. Like, he's a creative to the core. So I was like, all right. So I'm in the session. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Once the engineer started mixing and doing his thing, I was like, whoa, oh my God. Now it's my favorite song on the whole project.
Wow.
Yes. Trust.
I love watching how things are made.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I don't like just knowing about the end product. Like, I like learning people's journeys before they became famous, even after, you know, I was that kid who would sit and watch shows like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Teletubbies, all them, because they showed those videos of how candy was made, crayons, if anything. I would love to watch a video on how this was made.
How they bottled it.
Yeah, so I was always one of those, and you know, that's just pretty much how I always been. So
yeah, that's why I love the studio so much. Like, I don't go in there to, you know, like dictate, like, no, don't do it like this, say it like, I'm not one of those. I'm just in there kicking it, and I'm not the one that's gonna bring the girls and the weed and all. I ain't that either. That ain't me either. I'm there just kicking it, having a good time, and enjoying the atmosphere and watching things get made. It's trust. It's straight up trust. And then when he's done with the project, he trusts me to do everything outside of that once we leave.
So he pretty much give you the oop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Give you the oop.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So before you know he gives you the oop, before y'all even become teammates, like what do you look for in an artist before you decide that you want to manage them?
Yeah. Work ethic. Work ethic for one. And I stress work ethic so much. I know people like, man, here she go with this work ethic. Because, man, it's a hard job. Like being a manager or label owner or whatever you want to call me, it is so hard. But I love it though. Like literally the passion is what drives me. But there's days where I'll literally put my phone in the other room and I just watch, you know, just binge Netflix or something just to decompress. And it's literally it's a hard job. And what makes it hard is managing all the personalities that you deal with, you know, and you got a lot of people coming at you. And some people come at you before even saying, hey, Patrice, how you doing?
I don't like that.
Like, that irks my nerve. Like, how your day going? You good? What's up? You need anything? Let me, you know, they don't, some people just, hey, can you do this? It's like, dog. So
it's draining.
So that's why sometimes I'll just put my phone in another room. But it's a very hard job in that regard, managing the personalities as well as your own life. You know, you're managing someone else's career and life while managing your own. And if you're older, you may have a household, a significant other, kids. I don't have kids, but, you know, it's like there's that too. Like I said, it's a very hard job. So because of that, it is important that you work with people that want it just as much as you, because you are sacrificing so much. You sacrificing a lot. Like, I'm originally from Detroit. Some days I want to move back just to be around my family and my friends and stuff. But I'm like, I got so much going on here. I'm like, should I? I don't know. But it's like, even that's a sacrifice, you know, sacrificing jobs, sacrificing relationships, a social life, you know. So I look for a work ethic. Like, I don't want to see you chilling and having fun and I'm over here working. Like, that's a waste of my time. Like, you're not even worth it at that point. So I look for work ethic. I look for talent. And talent, that's just my personal preference, because I'm a fan of talent. I'm old school when it comes to music. Like, I like someone that could write, you know, someone that could come up with melodies and harmonies and whatnot, someone that could play instruments and hold a note. Like, literally, or someone that can, you know, literally entertain. So I'm a fan of talent. So I look for talent, work ethic, and marketability. Is this something that we can actually market?
Yeah.
You know, like, can we package this up and put it out there? Like this bottle of water, like, this is marketed. Like, you can't just put water in a bottle and say, I'm selling this. You know, this is why you go into the grocery store and every bottle of water has a label, it has a name, it has some kind of slogan or something on it, right? So I look at an artist like, all right, how can we package this before we put it out? You know, so I look for those three things: work ethic, talent, and marketability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of artists come out, there's always somebody to compare them to. Do you think that hurts an artist or helps them?
Compare how?
Oh, this person is the next this person. For example, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I had released a song called Misunderstood, back in 2018. And a lot of people would call it conscious rap. I don't like labels, because I don't like people putting me in a box, because I'm very versatile. If anybody who heard any of my music, not one song sound like the other. You don't know what you're going to get from me. You just know you're going to get somebody that's either going to be high energy or just smooth, you know. But a friend of mine, he was like, you know what, you should be like another Lauryn Hill. Like, you should get in that category. And I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about that. Because I don't want to go in being compared to anybody.
Right.
So,
got you.
How do you feel about comparisons?
I think it's bad from an artist perspective. Like, you should be free to create and be who it is that you want to be. From a marketing perspective, though, there's going to be some comparison. Only because we have to take this bottle of water and package it to compete with the other bottle of waters that are out there. You may not look at it as a competition because you're creating, but as a business person, that's how we look at it. Like, all right, why should I stream your music and watch your video when I could stream and watch somebody else's video? Why should I spend $100 to go to your show when I could go spend $100 to go see Lauryn Hill? You know what I'm saying? Even though she may show up late, it's Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we compare it from a marketing perspective and business perspective. We compare it. Like, Ken is a perfect example. When you were saying that, that's him. He's in that same boat right now, and it is challenging because people label him as a Christian hip hop artist. And he's like, I don't want to be labeled as that. Call me inspirational, and I don't even want to be labeled as that. I said, well, Ken, this is how it has to be, because how people minds consume content and consume music, or just brands in general, they have to label it something in order to receive it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to call it something. So we've been going with inspirational that make faith-based music or clean music, or he says life music. And his whole project is so versatile. It's crazy. Like, it's good. He got a trap song on there. He got a song that sounds like it should be played at the strip joint. And then he got a song like that the old school steppers could step to. And then he got another song for the choir. And I'm just like, oh my God. But the thing is, they're all talking about God. So it ties into his message.
Yeah.
But he wants to show, like, don't put me in a box. I can do it all. And on top of that, we can make this music in a way so people can consume it.
Yeah.
Because everybody need the message. Like,
everyone need a different vibe.
Exactly.
As well. Because
exactly.
I knew that I needed a DJ. He was like, Ken, you're such a high energy person. But that first EP you put out, you only had like one high energy song on there. And the one that you pushed the most, we can't take shots to that. Like, what's up?
Right.
And I'm just like, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta bait them. It's bait.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta put a little bait on the hook before you throw it out there. And that's all it is at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So if you have to compare from a branding and marketing perspective, I look at it as that, as bait. Mm-hmm. I just pitched him to a couple A&Rs and I labeled him as a Lecrae mixed with D1 with Jacob Lattimore swag.
Okay.
And some urban Chicago edge to him. Mm-hmm. Just so people can get a visual.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now go listen. So you just baiting them.
That makes sense.
From a creative standpoint, though, don't you do that.
Yeah.
You know, because that's going to mess up your creative flow, your creative energy and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But from a marketing perspective, we have to do that just to get people to get it and press play. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think about record labels? Like, is it necessary to sign to a record label nowadays?
It depends. It really depends. It's a good question. I did a video on this a couple years ago, and it's crazy that it's still relevant today. It really depends on your situation. Mm-hmm. They always say record labels, they're just banks, and they offer loans and funding and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I feel like record labels, on top of that, not only do they offer money and resources, but they offer so much more. They offer connections. They offer radio. They offer exposure. They can get you in certain doors that you couldn't get in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, This is why you see a lot of independent artists sign with the label and then go back independent. Mm-hmm. They do that for a reason. They do that to just level up. And then they're like, all right,
that's not a bad idea.
It's not.
Never
they just leverage it.
To do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Russ, I believe Chance did it with Apple. You know, they're not a label, but it's Apple. They might as well be one. You know what I'm saying?
They do everything else.
They do everything else. Yeah. Who else? Joyner Lucas. He signed with, who did he sign with? Atlantic or Columbia? Lecrae, he signed to Columbia. Mm-hmm. Now they're independent. They just did it just to level up. And when they were signed, that's when you start seeing them doing songs with Eminem. They started doing songs with the bigger artists, Kirk Franklin. They weren't doing that before. That label connection is what got them, catapulted them a little bit. So it really depends on, that's why I say it depends on the artist situation, where they're at in their career, and what their goals are.
Yeah.
Some people may be cool independent. They may be all right. Young M.A., she's independent. Maybe she cool. Mm-hmm. But, some people want to go a little higher. So they may have to sign and do something. And then there's some people that can't do it independently. Yeah. They can only do so much. Maybe they need a little help. So it really depends at this point.
I heard a speaker say, like, in most cases, like, R&B singers, they mainly need record labels, and rap artists, it may be ideal to be independent. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like,
I still think that
depends on the artist?
It depends on the artist. Yeah, I don't think it's based on genre or anything like that. Because I even know R&B artists here, and I always say with him, like, if he had his head on right, like he has the look, the sound, the sex appeal, the whole nine, but his head is a little, he interesting. He's interesting. I'll say that because I still rock with him. Mm-hmm. Even with him, I feel like all he need is release music, some dope visuals. Goes back to what we said, the camera person. You know, some dope visuals, and just release it, and it'll take off. He has a potential of going viral.
Yeah.
You know, because of that. So if anything, I feel like R&B artists, they shouldn't rely on their talent so much, because they know they could sing.
Yeah.
You know, people that could sing, they know they could sing. They know it. They like, yeah, I could sing. But I feel like sometimes they rely too heavily on that, you know. So it's like, if you put out music, if you a singer and if you put out music like a rapper, you could probably take off a lot further.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably blow real quick, you know.
What I realize is that with singers, when someone puts you on the spot and say, "Oh, you can sing," sing.
Yeah.
You could just sing somebody else's song.
Yep.
But rapping, people be so hard on rappers.
Exactly.
I used to hate when people. No, actually, when I was younger, because I always had a 16 on deck, you know, but I had more time on my hands. Yeah. I would just write and just have some off the dome, you know. But when people be like, "Oh, you can rap," yep. It's like, hold on, now I got to think about which 16 I want to start with, you know, because you know you gotta wow people.
Right. You got to come with the bars. But singers, you're right, and that's what I tell them, like, you know, because Montreal Waves in Canada, it's like she making money off streams, like her streams coming in. She don't even do much. Like, she's on like a little hiatus or whatever, personal reasons and whatnot. And them streams coming in just from her singing covers on TikTok. You know, and they going to Spotify to see what she got and playing her song and fell in love with the song. Like, that's all a singer can do. That's all they need to do.
I'm just upset that I don't have the voice.
Thank you, right?
I wasn't blessed with it.
Go on TikTok, Instagram, sing you some covers, release the covers. You know, I know a couple of artists now, they'll record themselves singing the covers and release it as a record on Spotify, which you can do. You know, you can do it. And they making, you know, they building a buzz from that. That's so easy.
If I did that as a rapper, they'd be like, "Man, what is she doing?"
Yeah,
you know?
Right. You can't do that as a rapper, but nah, singers.
Like, what exactly are you showcasing?
Right. But yeah, it goes back to that work ethic. A lot of singers don't do that.
So, you know, we have a lot of people that are talented, but like you said, don't have the work ethic or don't have the fan base. Sometimes that work ethic leads to a fan base. And then, you know, no talent, but a fan base, you got some that has talent, no fan base. So what would you rather have? The person that's not talented but have a large fan base. They got these supporters, about 10,000, 20,000 supporters who buy their merch, do everything this artist want them to do. Or you have this person that's very talented, but they don't have a fan base. Maybe they have a work ethic, but they just don't know what to do with their work yet, their content.
You asking me personally?
Yes.
Like, which one? Ken, he doesn't have a strong fan base.
Okay.
He didn't have one when I first started working with him. He had some, you know, local church members and whatnot, rocked with him and whatnot, but it wasn't like, oh my God, let's pack shows. But he had the talent and the work ethic. So me personally, I'm a fan of talent.
Yeah.
And then I look at the work ethic. Fan base, we can build that as long as you got the work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't have the talent, you have work ethic, and you have a fan base, I don't know. And that's just me personally. Like, some people will hop on someone that's bubbling, you know, that's popular, that's going viral, even though they did something stupid, you know, like something stupid, but they got a fan base now because they went viral. People will hop on that because they just look at it as for the money. Like, all right, let's capitalize on this popularity. I don't see it as that. I kind of look for long term.
Microwave food.
Yeah, I don't want no microwave. I want a nice 7-course meal, right? You know, like let's space this out. Like her, you know, perfect example. They've been developing her since she was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at her now. I definitely see a lot of longevity with her.
Man,
she ain't going nowhere.
She ain't going nowhere. She gonna retire when she like 50. And as she grow, like I can't wait to see how her career plays out with how they've you know, how they've laid out the plan for her. I can't wait to see how it's going to look in 10 years, 20 years from now. But that's what I look for. I look for longevity because, honestly, for me, I wouldn't mind having maybe, you know, anywhere from 3 to 5 artists, and we go out here and kill a game and make money from that, you know. So that's how I see it. So definitely talent for me personally, then the work ethic, and then the fan base. We can build that. It may take some time, but if you got the work ethic, we're going to build it. We can grow it.
Do you feel like record labels are lazy nowadays? Because in most cases, they won't even give an artist a time of day, even if they have the talent. But if they don't have the numbers, the YouTube views ain't hitting millions already. Like, do you feel like they lazy nowadays when it comes to picking talent?
I don't think they're lazy. I think they're just, they're making smart investment decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the fact that a lot of them are skipping the artist development? Like, they're not developing their artists. Because, you know, back in the day, the fact that I'm saying back in the day.
Back in the day.
But
like you so old.
When you think about, you know, I'm a 90s baby, early 90s. So, you know, we only count between 90 and 92. 93 is kind of pushing it.
Right.
But, you know, I'm a 92 baby. And I remember, and I've always, I still to this day, I still watch live performances of artists who I grew up watching. And their performances were amazing. But it's like nowadays, these companies, they're just putting the artists out, like, they're not teaching them performance etiquette. These artists don't know performance etiquette. They just rapping over a song with lyrics.
Up there looking high.
Standing in one spot. No real structure, no real it's not a memorable, it's a lot of non-memorable performances.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
Yeah,
the BET Awards.
Yeah, I just like, this is exactly why I stopped watching the BET Awards.
Right.
But, you know, I feel like they're skipping artist development now.
They are, but it's on the independent record labels to do that now. So we, like, for example, QC. QC has a partnership with another label that has a partnership with, I think, Universal. No, QC is got a partnership with Motown, and Motown is tied into Columbia. No, Capitol, not Columbia, Capitol. So it's QC, Motown, Capitol. QC is responsible for the artist development, right? Not Motown, not Capitol. So if anything, I feel like the organizational chart has changed. You know, we look at Motown and we think, you know, Motown from back in the day and how they used to have the etiquette classes and performance training and grooming and making sure you're dressed right and you're sitting up professional, you know, all of that. But now it's totally different, and I feel like that responsibility now is on the smaller label. They're the ones responsible for it. So, like, for me, the Baseline Group, we would be responsible for that, not the bigger company. So I feel like it's there, but it's not there. We don't see it. I think they just want a quick dollar. Because when you think about it, music is really losing its value, unfortunately. Like, songs went from being 7-8 minutes long to a minute and 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or 2 and some change, you know. It's losing its value. And that's why what we talked about with Kanye, how these artists should have CEOs, is because the artists are now becoming brands. They're not even musicians anymore. They're brands. So it's like, is music really that important, or are we just using the music to sell the brand? You know, like, if anything, the music is like McDonald's hamburger. We just selling the hamburger to bring people into McDonald's, and we could sell them on everything else that we got on the menu.
The ice cream,
exactly.
Even though the ice cream machine is always broke.
Exactly, right, right. Lauryn Hill always come to her shows like, there's the broke ice cream machine, but people will still go and spend that money though, you know. So that's how I see it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's there, but it's just losing its value. So they feel like, why put so much effort into it if it's not really that valuable? And songs are hot now and gone tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's real quick.
Yeah, we can't even think of some songs. Well, I can think of some underground songs that I can really deem as a classic.
Right.
But, you know.
But mainstream, though, is totally different. You know, so I feel like I think it's just going to take some time for it to come back to where music is going to become valuable again. I do see it. I don't know when, but like with artists like her, you know, and other artists coming, you know, behind her, you know, and whatnot. Jasmine Sullivan is dope.
Oh yeah.
You got, and it's crazy that they're all like R&B artists that's bringing it back, you know.
I love Ari Lennox.
Yep, she's dope.
I love her. She has a nice catalog.
Exactly.
I could think of about good over 12 songs of hers that I like.
Exactly.
That's important to have.
Exactly. And you can name them too. That's what I'm saying. You thought, right. So I feel like it's just going to take time. It's there, but it's going to take time. But when you think about it, it's the supply and demand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like since people are craving that now. People are craving substance because we've been dealt with, you know, this short-term microwave music, the mumble music, and it's just noise at the end of the day. I feel like people are now craving substance. They're craving melodies. They're craving harmonies and bridges. Remember when songs had bridges like SWV and
yes,
like they had bridges? Like people are craving that now. So I feel like it's just going to take some time to come back, you know. The demand is going to be there to the point where mainstream going to have to follow suit. Yeah.
I say give about 2025.
Yeah, I would say that.
We not going. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We been over there. It's time for some good music now.
Exactly. An artist can put out a 20-song project and it gets them through the year.
Yeah, I need for everyone's attention span to not be so short, because nowadays, you know, we got to make EPs now. We don't make albums anymore.
Right.
Because you'll come out with an album and people will listen to them. They'll pick about two, 3 songs that they like from the album. But then after a few months, they're like, okay, what else you got?
What else you got? Go listen to the album.
I spent 2 years working on this album.
Yeah. Did you listen to track 8?
Right.
Go listen to track 8.
Like, go just press play, sit down, listen to all 13 songs, and then figure out, okay, you already like these 3. Listen to these other ones to figure out and wear those songs out. And then you rotate. And then the next few months, wear these out. And then by the time you're done wearing out all the songs on the album, I'll have another album for you.
Exactly.
But nowadays, I see a lot of artists, they making EPs, and they making about 2 or 3 EPs a year.
Insane.
And I'm just like, okay, it's nice to have a catalog of music.
And they all sound the same. But, you know, that goes back to the streaming, though. It's, you know, they playing off the streams. That's all it is. Let's put out some new music so we get the streams back up. They're playing the numbers game. You know, and because of that, music is losing its quality. But I feel like if you don't play the numbers game and focus on the quality, focus on building the fan base, it'll grow. Yeah. You know, and there's people out there that's making a good living just by doing that, you know, and not chasing the stream, you know?
I think about artists like Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, who only made a certain amount of albums. Lauryn made, what, 1 album? She only had 1 album, right? The Miseducation to Lauryn Hill?
I think she had more, but I don't know. But that's the only one I know.
Exactly. That's the only one I remember. And Erykah Badu had a few of them. Been touring for over 20 years.
Performing them same songs.
I'm just like, man, see, I'm trying to get to that level.
And them songs are still being played when folks cleaning up their house, washing their car, going for their drives. That's what I'm talking about.
Because I'm the one who's playing them every day, not getting tired of them. And my thing has always been, man, I love timeless music. Right. They feel like they just released them.
Exactly.
But they released them 20 plus years ago.
Right. If your paperwork is right, you can live a good life with some timeless music for the rest of your life. Like a good life for the rest of your life, for real.
So how long have you been in Chicago?
I've been in Chicago 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 years.
So you've been in the music business for over a decade. And you've been in Chicago 9 years. So you've been here long enough to pretty much know what's going on in this city.
Yeah, I know the lay of the land somewhat when it comes to, I know the lay of the land when it comes to music. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible for an artist to become an A-list celebrity without having to leave Chicago and seek outside sources?
I'm gonna have to phrase my answer in a way not to. I don't want to ruffle no Chicago feathers.
Sometimes they need to be ruffled because some people need to get
I don't want to
themselves
ruffle
together.
no Chicago feathers, but I feel like my perspective is different from a lot of people because I'm not from here. Mm-hmm. So I have a very unbiased, perspective when it comes to that.
Which we need because,
I agree. Yeah. Because sometimes you're too close to it, you can't see. You can't see what's wrong when you're close to it.
You gotta step back
or have someone on the outside come in and say, look at this. This is why big companies hire consultants to come in and analyze, like, what are we doing wrong? Because we can't get it,
Right.
So that's how I look at myself. You saying A-list. Let's stress that. A-list. Yes, I do. I do think to become an A-list celebrity, you have to leave. Yeah, you have to go to Atlanta or LA, maybe even New York. Yep, to become A-list. Whose A-list is here that's still here? And I don't even count Chance because, he's Chance.
Yeah.
And I say that because he's talked, like he fed everyone this illusion that he was independent when really, he had some big dogs funding him. When people think independent, they think you literally got it out the mud. Like you working your 9 to 5 on the phones or a corporate job, pinching pennies to go in the studio and record and invest in yourself. He had big money behind him. So his independent is different from a lot of people. So I don't even count him for that reason. So when you think of A-list, who's here? That's still here. That didn't have to leave to become A-list.
Definitely can't think of anybody.
Exactly.
If any of you could think of an A-list celebrity that's still here in Chicago, didn't leave.
Yeah, that's still here, that's
Let
still
us
alive.
Know. I'll give you a cookie and a scratch and sniff sticker. That would be your prize. All right.
And and that's not to put Chicago down or anything like that. I mean, even Detroit. I can't even say that with Detroit. You would have to leave, even though I feel like Detroit is making a comeback slowly. People are watching the city, which I'm a little jealous of. Like, dog, I ain't there, but I'm gonna do my thing regardless. They're watching the city, but even there, it's like to become A-list, you have to go to one of the three, and that's because the labels are there. The big decision makers are there in those cities. The money where the deals are being done, like the boardrooms where you signing the paperwork, though that's being handled in those three places. Not here. I also feel like there's a ceiling here in Chicago too. You can only go so far before you either get knocked down or you give up.
Wow.
And it's sad. It's unfortunate. But at the same time, I get it. People say the crab in the barrel mentality.
I hear that term a lot when someone speaks on the music industry in Chicago.
Yeah, like if you look at Atlanta and how they come together and do stuff.
They hand in hand.
And that's because the resources that are there.
Yeah.
There's enough for everybody. There's not enough for everybody here.
Yeah.
Everybody fighting for the same bone. So it's just kind of like, because of that, people have a different mentality here. They'll, try to keep you down, push you down, or go through the back door or throw a monkey wrench in your plan just so you don't get it because they couldn't get it. And it's like, it don't even have to be that way. When really, as a city, everyone could easily just come together and just make it pop. But yeah, hopefully it changes. Yeah. I do hope it changes because Chicago's a dope city. It's a really dope, beautiful city. It's a destination spot for a lot of people. A lot of people be wanting to come here like, oh, you live in Chicago? Oh my God, I want to come. And I just be like, oh, for real? For real. So,
it is a beautiful city to come out and do and kick it. But
I hope it changes because honestly, like if everyone came together, things could really change for the better. It really could, but who knows?
I understand.
Yeah.
Let's do it real quick until like the making of music? Because one, you have to package things up, you have to steer, you have to work with this music that your artists make. How do you feel about samples?
Oh man,
samples can either make or break a song. That could be content wise or music business wise. But as far as like the music business standpoint, like how do you feel about samples?
It can be a pain. The higher up you go as an artist, it could be a pain because you got to get it cleared.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're getting real strict. Like you got what's the acronym? DCMA takedowns or something like that. The copyright takedowns on all the platforms and the content ID. They're getting really strict. Like there's a lot of laws in place and that they're tweaking right now to prevent stuff like that from happening. And then too, and then you got the whole legal thing. You know, you use a song and you put it out and you realize like 5-6 other people using the same beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just think if yours pop off, who's gonna get the right of that? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna collect the royalties on that? Like you see a lot of stuff like that happening. So I always tell artists, work with a producer that's literally making that stuff from scratch.
Yeah. And
that will work with you and partner with you and become your Timberland to your Missy.
Yeah.
And y'all work together and build from scratch because that I foresee that getting very ugly over the years. Just because there's a lot of laws and stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
Like, Congress and all of them, they they got some stuff going on. So it's on top of that too, when it comes from an independent level, a lot of these licensing companies don't even want to mess with your record if you got a sample.
Because that put them at risk as well.
Exactly.
They got to pay insurance.
Exactly.
And use the insurance money.
And you looking at like, is it Epidemic Sound? What are the companies that a lot of YouTubers use to get music? It's Epidemic or something. There's that one and there's another one.
I heard that one.
It's a couple platforms that a lot of YouTubers use to get music from. And I remember reaching out to one to submit some music to, and they collect the royalties and stuff on it, and they ask if the song has this, this, and this, and uses this, this, and this, even stuff from Splice, we can't use it.
Wow.
I was like, well, dog, that's his whole catalog.
It's like, man, we got to start from square one.
That went from like 9 songs to 2.
Woo.
Yep, so I went back and I said, look, I need you to come up with some stuff, some good stuff that don't use all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because we leaving money out there.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, it's just messy. I say, if anything, use it to use it for content, get your name out there, you know. But when you start bubbling and blowing up, it is important to get the exclusive. It is important, and then making sure that they're not using any samples either.
Yeah.
You know, or having in your paperwork that if they are and they lied to you, that they're responsible for it. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. And another thing, like a lot of producers are selling beats like, oh, you get this lease for $20, exclusive for this amount of money. Or you got some people who don't even lease beats; they just straight exclusive. Like, what are the dangers of leases? Because I've gotten to the point where I don't like leasing beats at all.
Yeah. You can get sued. That's the danger of it. You can get sued. You can get your music taken down. You can get locked out of all your accounts, all kind of stuff. Oh, I'm touching my mic. It's a whole bunch of stuff that could happen. Yeah, you know, so it's important not to even do it. Although it's a dope business model for producers. It's a dope business model. I know a producer now. He was actually on my podcast that I had last year, and he making a good multiple 6 figures making music. Like, he makes his own samples, but he leases what he creates. He got sample packs, and his beats are just phenomenal. Like, his beats, they're not just looped beats. They're like, he has production. Like, he creates songs. And he'll, $40 lease, unlimited, $40 to get you so many streams, or you can do an unlimited for $75. And then he has a on his page, on his website, he has another page for just strictly exclusives. So no one can lease those. So no one else has this beat. And he's doing well. So I love the business model because there's a lot of artists who are hobbyists. Yeah. It's perfect for them, to have some beats that they can just rap to, spend $20 to, and just throw it on YouTube or whatever, just for fun. Yeah. But for those that really want to make this a career, you're gonna have to get them bad boys clear, get some exclusives, or like I said, partner up with a producer and do some stuff from scratch. Yeah, because doing this as a career, let's just think like your song is on BET, but yet Pookie in Nebraska got the same song. Now he ready to sue you. You stole my beat. Like, nah. You're just better off just avoiding all that if possible, because it can get real ugly and expensive. Yeah. With lawyer fees and whatnot.
Who want to deal with that?
Who wants to deal with that when it could have been avoided?
So your company, the Baseline Group, what services do y'all have for artists outside of artists that you manage?
Everything. not just
sample clearing?
No, okay. That we don't do. No. Okay. That we don't do. I tried and I was like, I don't want to do this. Because with that, it takes a little bit more effort and resources to get a good sample cleared. Because a lot of companies ain't just gonna clear a sample just to be clearing it. But if Beyonce's dad and he wants something cleared, clear for you, sure.
Right, we gotta figure this out.
Right, but just for some local artists, they like, nah. But no, to answer your question though, outside of management, we offer label services, music publishing administration, making sure all your music is registered with all the music rights organizations. We offer marketing services. When I say marketing services, I'm not talking about like just promo. Let me put you on certain Instagram pages or a Spotify playlist. Right. No, we help you develop your brand. So if anything, it's more brand development and growing that, and then developing a marketing plan to build awareness around who you are and the brand that we helped you develop. And then what else? That's basically it. That's basically it. Yeah, and we have relationships with quite a few different people. I just landed a partnership with Symphonic Distribution. Okay. They distribute all of our music or any artist that I choose to distribute through them. They offer a lot of different services as well, like video distribution, getting your video on Tidal and Vivo and Apple Music and things like that. What else? Yeah, that's basically it. I don't really publicize it because I'm so selective with who I work with.
Yeah, which I don't blame you.
Yeah,
because your name is on everything.
Exactly. The Baseline Group equals Patrice K. Cokley. Like, so I'm very selective with who I work with. That's why I keep it very general with what we do online. But I look at it as, artists want to work. I look, what's your budget? Obviously, because this stuff costs. And like I said earlier, it's not to determine how much we're going to charge you, because sometimes we don't charge, but it'll determine what we can do and what we can't do. And just to see what you're working with and see what pieces of the puzzle that are missing. Because more than likely, 9 times out of 10, we can help fill that puzzle. Studio. Like one day I would love to have a studio and a facility. I don't know where I would want to house that just yet, whether it's here or Detroit or somewhere else. But I definitely see something like that in the future within the next 3 years. And have like an artist development program. I already had a curriculum written out from my days of teaching at SAE. So I would love to have like an artist development program housed in a facility. So I'm very selective when it comes to that, and just try to, help where I can, and just, see if we could make some magic happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Patrice K. Cokley of the Baseline Group. Where can we follow you?
Everywhere. I'm heavy on Instagram. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, even YouTube. You just type my name in, Patrice K. Cokley, which is Cokley, or the Baseline Group. And then I also have the website as well, patricekcokley.com, as well as the baselinegroup.com. And Baseline is BASSLINE. I
like how you spelled that.
Yeah, because of the music. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to say BASE, and it's like, no, it's BASS. And you know, that was a metaphor. I came up with that name, like I said earlier, your brand. Yep. Like when you think about your brand is the foundation to your career. Mm-hmm. It's not the music, it's your brand. And when you think about a song, I feel like the base of a song is the foundation of the song, not the drums. Everybody says the drums, but to me it's the bass line. So I was like, the bass line is, you know, it's like your brand. So that's where I got the name from.
I love it. Make sure y'all follow Patrice K. Cokley. She is always dropping gems. Like, I was on her Instagram last night. Like, man, I agree. Man, you can learn so much just from following her on social media. So make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all follow us, 6D Networktainment, on Instagram, 6D NetworktainMT, and Twitter, 6D NetworktainMT. Also follow our other pages. We are on a hiatus on our weekly radio show, 6D Radio, but still follow us at Radio 6D. Follow our festival page, Wendy Fest Shy, CHI, not shy as in, you know, don't want to talk to anybody. Shy as in Chicago. Make sure y'all follow us there. And we're also on TikTok, LinkedIn, all those platforms, Facebook. Make sure y'all follow us there. Make sure you follow me at its_the_can for your music and all your shenanigans, pretty much. We appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure y'all pretty much do what I say and follow everybody, because if you listening to this, that means that you wanted gems to catch, and we definitely dropped some. Patrice definitely dropped a lot of gems, and we got more gems to drop. So there it is. Have a great day.